My dear friend, I don't know what you had for breakfast this morning. Maybe it was a slice of toast, a glass of low-fat milk, or just a quiet cup of coffee by the window watching the new day begin. But if you, like millions of Americans over 50, are living with diabetes, then every bite, every sip is more than just a habit. It's part of a daily journey to care for your body and protect your health. I once had a patient, Mr. Walter, 69 years old. He looked at me and said, "William, I'm retired. I have the time, the means, but I truly do not know where to start when it comes to eating with diabetes." And I understood that feeling. Because after 50, our bodies don't work the way they used to. A slice of cake or a sugary drink. Things that seemed harmless when we were younger can now spike blood sugar, cause fatigue, disturb our sleep, and quietly pave the way for serious complications. But you know what? Here's the good news. There are foods that not only are safe, but are silent companions, helping you manage blood sugar, protect your heart, and feel stronger each day. And today I'd like to walk with you, not through strict diets or harsh restrictions, but through a new way of eating with understanding, with care, and above all, with respect for the body that's carried you through life. Are you ready? You see, over the past 30 years as a doctor for older adults, I've heard many patients sigh and say to me, "William, ever since I got diabetes, it feels like everything I used to love has turned into the enemy." They tell me that every meal feels like a test. They eat with fear. They look at a slice of bread or a bowl of rice with guilt. And slowly the joy of eating fades, replaced by anxiety, hesitation, and a sense of loss, even in their own kitchen. But dear friend, let me tell you this from the heart of a doctor and from the son who once cooked for his father with diabetes. Food is not the enemy, it's your ally. What matters is choosing the right allies and understanding how they support you. I want you to imagine this. Your body after 60 is like an engine that's been running for 6 decades. It still works, but it needs cleaner, kinder fuel. You don't need a strict regime. You don't need to give up all the flavors you once loved. Instead, you just need to learn how to listen to food, to see it like an old friend. Which foods help you feel energized? Which ones leave you tired, foggy, or with tingling feet? One of my patients, Evelyn, 66, once told me, "I didn't understand why eating white bread every morning left me sleepy all day. But ever since I switched to oats and fresh fruit, I feel more alert and my feet are less swollen." That's not magic, that's the power of wise choices. Today I'll walk you through foods that are not only safe but truly nourishing for your pancreas, your blood vessels, and your heart. Nothing complicated, nothing strange, just simple ingredients that when chosen and combined wisely can become the best friends of anyone living with diabetes after 50. Are you ready to begin this journey of discovery? Leafy greens, nature's gentle gift. My dear friend, when I was a child, my mother used to make me eat my vegetables. I remember frowning as I picked up each leaf of spinach and hurriedly swallowed it down. Back then, I didn't understand why adults valued greens so much. But now, after going through thousands of medical records and witnessing countless health journeys, I can say this: leafy greens are one of the most tender gifts nature has to offer, especially for those living with diabetes after 50. I once had a patient, Miss Marjorie, 64 years old, a remarkably thoughtful woman. She told me, "I don't eat much, but every time I get tested, my blood sugar is still high." Then my dietitian suggested I try replacing half of my rice with steamed greens, and magically my levels became stable. What caused such a change? You see, leafy greens like spinach, kale, Swiss chard, and broccoli are low in carbohydrates, but rich in fiber, magnesium, and antioxidants. Fiber slows down the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream, helping prevent blood sugar spikes after meals. Magnesium supports your body in processing insulin more effectively. And antioxidants like silent soldiers protect your blood vessels, reduce inflammation, and fight aging. After 50, when the body starts to lose its balance, leafy greens become even more essential. They help with digestion, promote restful sleep, and most importantly, they ease the burden on your pancreas with every meal. And you know what? Greens don't have to be boring. A light stir fry of spinach with garlic, a warm bowl of leafy green soup with mushrooms, a morning smoothie with kale and green apple. All of these are not only delicious, they're gentle love letters to your own body. Berries, small fruits, big benefits. My dear friend, there's something I deeply love about berries: strawberries, blueberries, raspberries. They're small and vibrant on the outside, but inside they hold a treasure trove of healing power, especially for those living with diabetes after 50. I once told one of my patients, is Helen, 61 years old, a retired high school teacher, why don't you try replacing dessert with a small bowl of berries each day? She smiled and said I thought sweet fruits were off limits. But after a few weeks, she returned with improved blood sugar levels and a glowing face. I ate without guilt, doctor. For the first time, I felt like I was both enjoying and healing. You see, sweet fruits are not the enemy. It's not about how sweet something is, it's about how it affects your body. Berries contain very little natural sugar, but are incredibly rich in antioxidants, vitamin C soluble fiber, and polyphenols compounds that protect blood vessels, reduce inflammation, and enhance insulin sensitivity. Did you know a Harvard study showed that people who regularly consume blueberries and strawberries each week had up to a 23% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes? Why? Because these berries help slow down sugar absorption, support healthy blood sugar metabolism, and nourish the good bacteria in your gut, something our bodies deeply need after 50. I always encourage my older patients to choose deeply colored fruits, purple, red, dark blue, as a sign of nutrient richness. A bowl of blueberries in the morning, a handful of strawberries mixed into oatmeal, or a smoothie made with berries and nut milk. These aren't just meals. They're thoughtful gifts to your pancreas, your heart, and your aging skin. Have you ever tried a ripe raspberry, felt the sweet tart flavor gently melt on your tongue and smiled? That's the moment you realize eating is connection. It's emotion. It's care. And you deserve to be cared for in ways that are delicious, comforting, and full of love, even while living with diabetes. Fatty fish, food for the heart and pancreas. My dear friend, one afternoon I was walking along the California coast with an old patient of mine, Mr. Gerald, 70 years old. We talked about aging health and fish. He looked at me squinting with a smile. William, do you know what I miss the most from childhood meals? It's the grilled salmon my mother used to cook over charcoal. The smell would fill the whole afternoon. And then he fell silent, as if tasting again that smoky aroma, the rich flavor, and the warmth of a time long gone. I share this story because I truly believe fish, especially fatty fish, is more than just food. It's a memory, a piece of culinary heritage, and a powerful gift for those living with diabetes after 50. You see, fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, and herring are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, the kind our bodies can't produce on their own. This is what I call the nutrient of softness, because it helps reduce chronic inflammation, a major driver of worsening diabetes. Improve insulin sensitivity, helping your body use insulin more effectively. Protect your heart, crucial since people with diabetes have 2 to 4 times the risk of heart disease. A study published in Diabetes Care found older adults who ate fatty fish at least twice a week had significantly better triglyceride, blood fat, and blood pressure levels. That means even a simple fish meal is like calming the silent tension in your blood vessels. I once told Mr. Gerald, you don't have to go back to your childhood to find your mother's grilled fish. Just carry the spirit of it, cook simply, eat slowly, and let healing food nourish you. A pan-seared salmon with a squeeze of lemon, a bowl of fish soup with leafy greens, a sardine sandwich on whole grain bread. These are not just meals, they are kind whispers of care to your heart, brain, and pancreas. My dear friend, fish doesn't need to be fancy. All it takes is a thoughtful choice and a deep respect for your body. Because after 50, meals are no longer about eating to be full. They're about eating to be well, eating to love yourself, eating to make tomorrow easier than today. Whole grains, small shift, big impact. My dear friend, have you ever thought bread is just bread, rice is just rice? What's the difference? One of my patients, Mr. Marcus, 64, asked me this during a consultation. He said he ate normally, no sweets, no greasy food. Yet his blood sugar fluctuated, he felt bloated and always tired. When I asked more, he said, each morning 2 slices of white bread, lunch with white rice, dinner with a bowl of watery white porridge. William, he said, those are harmless foods, aren't they? I smiled and replied, Marcus, they're gentle on the tongue, but harsh in the blood. You see, refined grains like white bread, white rice, and white pasta have had their bran and germs stripped away, which removes most of the fiber, vitamins, and minerals. What's left is fast-absorbing starch that spikes blood sugar within minutes, something the aging body isn't well equipped to handle. Whole grains, on the other hand, like steel-cut oats, brown rice, quinoa, barley, are different. They're what I like to call thoughtful foods. Because when you eat them, your body receives soluble fiber that slows sugar absorption into the bloodstream. More stable post-meal blood sugar, avoiding that midday slump. Prebiotics for your gut, improving digestion and even mood. B vitamins, magnesium and iron, vital for heart and nerve health. A 14-year study by the Harvard School of Public Health found people who ate whole grains daily had up to a 30% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes than those who consumed refined grains. See, a small change like switching from white bread to whole grain or from white rice to brown rice can bring big benefits. And here's the best part. You don't have to eat more or do anything drastic. You just need to shift your priorities and choose what nourishes, not just what fills. I often encourage my patients to start simple, a warm breakfast of slow-cooked oats with apple slices and flax seeds. A bowl of quinoa mixed with veggies instead of white rice a few times a week. A second look at food labels, choose those that say 100% whole grain. I remember a month later, Mr. Marcus returned and said with a grin, "I'm still eating well, but I feel lighter, less sleepy, and strangely, I don't crave sweets like I used to." My dear friend, that's exactly what I hope for you to experience. Not deprivation, not struggle, but a mindful shift and the joy of feeling the difference each day. Because after 50, health doesn't come from more, it comes from better. And when meals are chosen with care, they become gentle companions on your journey to a free, healthy life in your golden years. Water and herbal tea, a gentle swap for soda. My dear friend, I want you to imagine this. It's a summer afternoon. You walk into the house after gardening or a light stroll around the neighborhood. Your throat is dry, and there on the table is a cold soda sparkling in the sunlight. You crack it open. Psst. That feeling, I understand. It's satisfying, very American. But let me ask you this. After 50, what truly gives you that satisfying feeling? A momentary burst of refreshment or a body that feels light and energized all day? I once had a patient, Denise, 62, a retired elementary school teacher. She told me she'd treat herself to a can of soda every afternoon. "Just one can, doctor." "To perk me up," she said with a smile. But within 6 months, she began experiencing knee pain, headaches, and a sharp spike in her blood sugar levels. The issue wasn't just one can, it was the habit repeated every day, every week, every month. Soda, whether it's sugary or diet, can cause rapid spikes in blood sugar, promote insulin resistance and metabolic imbalance, dehydrate cells due to caffeine and additives. And something many overlook, soda doesn't satisfy hunger, but it does trigger cravings, especially for sweets and carbs. After 50, your pancreas and liver aren't as responsive as they once were. Each sugar spike demands extra effort from your endocrine system. And over the years, those soda cans may silently stack up into the foundation of future complications. So what's the alternative? Plain water, clear, simple, seemingly flavorless, is actually one of the greatest gifts you can give your body. It helps to flush out toxins, maintain stable blood pressure, keep your joints, skin, and mucous membranes hydrated, reduce false hunger, a sneaky enemy for those managing diabetes. And if plain water feels too bland, herbal teas are the alternative I encourage all my patients to explore. A warm cup of ginger tea in the morning, a soothing chamomile tea in the afternoon, or just a few mint leaves, lemon slices, or cucumber rounds in your water bottle. These don't just calm the body, they calm the mind too. Denise eventually began drinking chamomile and cinnamon tea instead of soda, and within a month she told me, "I not only feel lighter, but I sleep better too." I never expected water and tea to change so much. You see, living healthy doesn't always require grand gestures. Sometimes it's just about putting down the soda and lifting a cup of tea. My dear friend, we've just journeyed through a quiet path together, from leafy greens, berries, and fatty fish to humble cups of herbal tea. These may seem like simple foods, but within them lies the power to heal, especially after age 50. I once told a patient, after 50, each meal is no longer just about hunger. It's a chance, a choice to love yourself a little more. Do you feel that too? A grilled salmon fillet instead of deep-fried red meat, a bowl of oats instead of sugary cereal, a cup of ginger tea instead of soda. Each of these small choices, when made daily, accumulate into the strength, clarity, and freedom you'll carry into your later years. I know, change isn't easy, especially when you've lived a certain way your whole life. Memories, habits, emotions, they're all tied to the food we eat. But do you know what's beautiful? Aging gives us the gift of depth. It invites us to listen to our bodies more closely and learn how to nourish them with kindness. After 50, you don't need extreme diets. You just need to eat with awareness, intention, and self-respect. So please remember this, you don't have to eat perfectly. You just have to eat with love and understanding. If you've stayed with me to the end of this video, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It means you truly care about your health and are taking real steps toward living actively and gracefully after 50. Leave me a comment, share which of today's foods you've already been using or plan to try. Subscribe to this channel so you won't miss future videos from me, Dr. William Hart, and our Graceful Health Journey community, because you deserve to live with joy with health every single day without giving up what you love. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep nourishing your body and your spirit with all things gentle and good.